first standard of Unit 2 of 7th grade is EE1. Apply properties of operations as strategies to add, subtract, factor, and expand linear expressions with rational coefficients. Now, the first one I'm going to talk about is the distributive property. Now, this should look familiar from what you did in 6th grade. I'm going to do one before the variable. So let's say I had 4 plus 28, and I wanted to create a distributive property problem using the greatest common factor. I would find the greatest common factor of 28 and 4, which is 4. 4 goes on the outside of the parentheses. And now I take that 4 out and divide it into the two add-ins. 4 divided by 4 is 1. 28 divided by 4 is 7. So this and this, they're equivalent to one another. It's just another way of writing it. Now, let's look at one with a variable. 4a minus 28. Now, in this one, my greatest common factor is still 4. 4 goes on the outside. Now, the difference is I can't do anything with that a. Okay? Can't do anything with it. I can't pull it out because 28 does not have an a. So, only thing that comes out is the 4. 4a divided by 4 is just a. 28 divided by 4 is 7. The sign stays the same. My answer is 4 parentheses a minus 7. Now, I'm going to try another one. If I had 5x plus 25, my greatest common factor is 5. 5 goes on the outside. X goes on the inside. 25 divided by 5 is 5. There is my answer there. Now, distributive property. This is just applying the distributive property that you learned about in the 6th grade standards, but now you're doing it with negative and positive numbers and variables. So in this case, negative 6 parentheses, negative 7 plus 2z. I distribute the negative 6. Negative 6 times negative 7 is positive 42. I distribute the negative 6 to 2z. 6 times 2 is 12, so that gives me minus 12, and nothing happens with a z. It's just that right there. There's my answer. I cannot combine 42 and 12 because they are unlike terms because the 42 does not have a z, so now I'm finished. Now, let's look at this. Add, subtract algebraic expressions. So, first step, follow the order of operations. Use properties of operations and combine the coefficients of like terms. So I'm looking at this guy right here. I cannot combine anything there. In this parenthesis, well, this bracket, I have 4.6, and I'm going to distribute that to the two terms on the inside. Now I'm going to rewrite. It is imperative that you keep this neat and organized. If you do not keep this neat and organized, this standard is going to blow your mind because there are so many steps and so many things you got to do that you got to keep it neat and organized. So I'm going to rewrite it. 8.5x plus 2y plus 4.6y and then minus 0.46x. Close parentheses. Now, I cannot combine anything in the parentheses. This is a plus sign, so I'm not distributing a negative to the inside of the parentheses. So now I'm going to get rid of the parentheses and rewrite it to where my two terms are together. 8.5x minus 0.46x plus 4.6y plus 2y. Combine like terms. 8.5 minus 0.46. I get 8.04x plus 6.6y. Now, these two add-ins, they're both different variables. We cannot combine like terms. I'm finished. Now, 4.28 minus 3.5b minus parentheses. Now, in this problem, anytime you have a negative on the outside of parentheses, you have to distribute it to all the terms on the inside. 4.2a minus 3.5b minus 1.8a minus 2.7b plus 1.9. Now, I rewrite the problem to where my like terms are together. 4.2a minus 1.8a minus 3.5b minus 2.7b plus 1.9. Now, I combine like terms. 4.2 minus 1.8. 2.4a. Negative 3.5 minus 2.7. And I get minus 6.2b plus 1.9. I cannot combine like terms. I am finished. Now, a problem looks like this. You could have done in 6th grade, but we still come back to it. First step, rewrite it to where your like terms are together. 6y plus 2y plus 2y. Minus 8 plus 2. It is imperative. The sign to the left of the term stays with it. I repeat, the sign to the left of the term stays with it. I now add 10y minus 6. I'm finished. Now, a problem that looks like this. I want you to find the perimeter of this rectangle. Now, we're not getting into the area because that comes into Algebra 1. But I want you to find the perimeter of this rectangle. So, I write all the sides. I now combine like terms. Now I add 20x plus 6x plus 14, combine like terms, 26x plus 14.